Hello everyone, welcome to this channel where we talk about everything rock music. If you're brand new here, hi, my name is Edgrim the Rock DJ, and this is going to be my review of the new ACDC album, which is called Power Up. I've been wanting to do this review ever since I had the first single off of this album. A Shot in the Dark. The minute I heard this song and I liked it so much, I wanted to do this review, but I thought that instead of just reacting to that song, I should review the whole album. And it was released November 12th, which I believe is yesterday. Today is Friday the 13th. Today is Friday the 13th, and I hope nothing goes wrong while I'm recording this album review. Please make sure to give this video a like, subscribe if you love rock music, because I talk about everything rock music here. Alright, ACDC. I'm a huge fan. If you've never noticed, the profile picture of this YouTube channel is me in an ACDC t-shirt. I don't have it right now. I gave it to someone who I don't even talk to right now, so I don't have an ACDC t-shirt right now, but I've always been a huge ACDC fan. And this album, Power Up, is their 17th album. That is one long discography. ACDC are a very legendary rock and roll band from Australia. If you don't know, if you've never heard of them, if you've never watched an Iron Man movie where there's like ACDC playing in like Iron Man, I think 1, Iron Man, I think 2 even. So ACDC is a very huge band, and this is their 17th album with 12 songs. I believe it has 12 songs, which side A has 6 and then side B has 6. Okay, so I'm going to do a breakdown of this album, give you some positives, some negatives, a bit of background, and my own personal thoughts. Let's start off with a bit of background. The last album before this one was Rock or Bust. Rock or Bust, something. Not the bust that you like. Rock or Bust was released in 2014, and it's been 6 years, and now this is the next album from ACDC. In general, this album was very overwhelming to listen to. For me, I'm speaking subjectively for myself, and let me tell you why. Number one, I have never listened to a full ACDC album. Never. I have never. Even Rock or Bust I did not finish, or I skipped a song, or I skipped a couple of songs. I actually do not remember listening to it from start to end. This specific album I listened from start to end, and it was so overwhelming that by the time I got to disc B, the songs 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I even had to write notes down just because of how overwhelmed I was from this album. Why is it overwhelming? Let me explain. Number one, the first song is called Realize. Realize is such an amazing track. You tend to hear a lot of the qualities that are in Realize, you tend to hear them also in the other songs. And let me tell you which quality is number one. Amazing production quality, in my opinion. Maybe it's my headphones that are really good. But I really like the production quality of this. When someone says good old rock and roll, this album has the sound of good old rock and roll. The riffs are really good. You can literally hear, like, maybe it's my headphones, but you can hear, like, you can hear like literally every guitar riff they are playing. I think the first 4 songs in the track, Realize, Rejection, Shot in the Dark, Through the Mists of Time, those are like the first 4 songs. I found them to be very energetic. They really, hold their own when it comes to the energy side of ACDC. There's this song called Kick You When You're Down. Kick You When You're Down, yeah? That's like the number 5 song on the album. This song really, I don't know, I felt like it was just appropriate for 2020, because 2020 has been a shitty. Yeah, it's just been quite heavy for many people. It's been overwhelming for very many people. And Kick You When You're Down, and I heard this song, I was like, Brian Johnson said, why they gotta kick you when you're down? First of all, you cannot imitate Brian Johnson's voice because it's very iconic. It's just typical ACDC. If you love ACDC from back in the day, you will love this album. And that's why I found it to be so overwhelming. It brought back so many memories. It actually reminded, there's a certain song I'm going to mention that really reminded me of when I discovered ACDC, which was, I discovered ACDC during the time when I was like really into Supernatural. Really loved that TV show, and they used to play a lot of ACDC, so it reminded me, or it was very reminiscent of that time. You cannot imitate Brian Johnson's vocals very easily, and in this album it is Brian Johnson's voice comes through perfectly. So around number 6 and 7 and 8, around there, I feel like there's a bit of an energy dip, which now let me go now a bit to the negatives of this album. You know, the way everyone says every ACDC song sounds alike. Well, this album kinda has that. If you never listened to ACDC before and you listen to this album, you'll be like, I can't tell the songs apart, which is kinda true, but this isn't a bad thing. ACDC, they've always stuck to their roots and they've always stuck to their core sound, and I like that. I like bands that have songs that are consistent, not that you're a band that does a song that's EDM and then another one that's hard rock, then another one that's soft. They have a consistency, and that's something that I actually enjoy from this album. A lot has happened to ACDC. A lot of stuff has happened to ACDC between 2014 and 2020. They said in an interview with Rolling Stones, I'm going to put that screenshot here on screen. They said in an interview with Rolling Stones that this album is like a tribute in memory of one of their members who passed away. His name is Malcolm Young. So Power Up is like a tribute to Malcolm Young, just the same way that Back in Black was a tribute to Bon Scott, who I believe was the first lead singer of ACDC. Which reminds me, there are so many songs, especially in the second half of the album. They have so many Back in Black references. Let me even get my notes. Yeah, so from number 7, this album was so overwhelming. There was so much stuff going on. There was so much awesomeness going on. When the album was halfway, I had to take my headphones off, sit down for a second, and then put them back on, because I was really enjoying it, and it just, you know, it felt like good old ACDC that I have not listened to in such a long while, because it's been 6 years. So number 7 song was a song called Demon Fire, and in my notes I literally wrote that at the bridge, somewhere at the bridge of that song, there's like a Back in Black kind of riff. Yeah, in this album they do a lot of winks to that album, to Back in Black, which, as I said, they said that Back in Black was you know, dedicated to Bon Scott, and this one is dedicated to Malcolm Young. The one song that I did not like was No Man's Land. It's song number 9. It's song number 9, and that was the only song in this album that I skipped. I don't know, it just felt low energy. Plus there's also this thing that happens in ACDC songs where they sing and then they have like a choir thing, you know, like Brian Johnson says something like so you have this backup vocal that are like very, let me say, choir-ish. I don't know if that has always been part of ACDC's core sound, but I noticed it a lot in this album. And to be very honest with you, it kind of became a bit repetitive, which made the second half of the album a little less enjoyable than the first, just in my personal perspective. But the songs are really good. Yeah, I wrote that the sing-alongs are a bit repetitive, especially with the background vocals. Maybe it's just an ACDC thing. Maybe it's an ACDC thing that I didn't notice from a long time ago. I don't know. A song that is called Money Shot. Money Shot really reminded me of back when I discovered ACDC during you know, the Supernatural days, when I used to watch Supernatural. So Money Shot is number song 11, and then Code Red is the last song. Code Red, the intro, I literally wrote it in my notes. Code Red in the intro of Code Red literally sounds like the intro to Back in Black. Go listen to Back in Black and then listen to the intro of Code Red. It sounds like Back in Black completely. And I was like, this is definitely, you know, ACDC constantly winking to that album, yeah. And I was like, I really enjoyed this album. I'm not gonna say it's a perfect album. Some people might say it's, you know, very repetitive and, you know, every ACDC song sounds alike, but I really enjoyed this. It was one of the most overwhelming albums for me of 2020. It had so much emotion. It brought so much memory, and also, like I said, it's a commemoration in memory of Malcolm Young, who passed away. I would give this album a 7 out of 10, just my personal rating. I really enjoyed it. And have you listened to this album? Please make sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. that is my review of this album, Power Up by ACDC, their 17th album. Damn, that is a long discography. Please make sure to give me a like if you enjoyed what I just said. Comment below and tell me if you listened to this album, which is your favorite ACDC song. I'd really like to know. Alright, my name is the Rock DJ. Somewhere on this screen I'm going to leave a few more reviews. I've reviewed other albums of 2020, and I'd appreciate if you could check them out. Alright, thanks so much for watching. You take care and God bless.